Hello and good morning. Just wanted to come and talk to you guys today a little bit about something I heard at church, and our pastor did a sermon on the importance of rest. And the whole sermon series is on about pacing yourself. And I got to thinking about how I do with this, and I realized that I have a lot of work to do on pacing. And when it comes to the weekends, I'm usually on the go pretty much throughout the week, and then when it comes to the weekends, when the pace of life slows down, I really struggle with that. And that stillness and being still and resting is something that causes actually a lot of anxiety for me. And I know the importance of rest, and I know the value of that, and so I'm in this tug of war in my mind, and then what am I supposed to do with myself? And I'll find myself kind of pacing around the house and having a lot of nervous energy. And I know that that emanates from me, and the people around me are affected by that nervous energy. And of course, that's my loving family. And the last thing that I really want to do is to give them nervous energy on a time when we as a family or me as a person should be engaging in rest. I also find this with vacations as well, that it can take me several days into a week-long vacation before I actually start to gear down, and then I can go at a different pace of life. So I think part of that maybe my mental emotional transmission, the part of me of my brain that helps me to shift gears can get clogged, stuck, needs some fluid, needs some maintenance there to be able to shift quicker into those things. And really what I'm doing is I'm shortcutting that value that I can get by having that rest. So I'm recognizing the importance of that, and I'm also recognizing the amount of conflict internally, the tug of war that creates. So I want to be challenging myself, and I did this last weekend, but it was hard. When I found myself pacing or kind of hovering around my family at times when they're making breakfast or cooking dinner or something like that, that should be a nice, relaxing, enjoyable. When I'm not in control of that, then I had to really fight with myself to take the back seat and to go and to attempt to rest. So when I think about it, and I think for overperformers too, that in my mind, and you have to let me know if this is true for your mind as well, is that when I take time to slow down, there's a part of my brain that's resisting that, and I tell myself that I'm being lazy, that I'm not being productive, that I'm wasting time. And a lot of times when I'm working with high-performing people, the challenge is to get them to dial back a little bit, and to dial back when it's important to dial back, because there's great value in rest. And so it's like that resting, and even if someone has to schedule relaxation into their schedule, but allowing ourselves to have that downtime is where we really recharge our batteries. And those downtimes are really important because it prepares us for the next time that we have to go into action. So, I'll be reminding myself, and I'll be reminding other people of the importance and the value of taking that time and recharging, because ultimately it's going to make you stronger in the long haul and for the next stretch of things that you have to deal with. Olympic athletes, high performance athletes, or anyone who's a high performer has a tendency to push themselves at 100%, 110%, 120% all the time. And in times when you're practicing or you're training, sometimes high performers, and I talked about this before in another video, that Hugh Jackman in a video was saying he has to dial back to about 85% of his total effort. And when he does that, things are not as forced. And we actually can sometimes perform better and have better form in more relaxed form when we're doing things than when we're always pushing and always managing things at 100% or beyond. And when we do that consistently and we're overperforming consistently, we just start chipping away at our resources and our energy and our muscles and our structure and our foundation, which ultimately makes us weaker for what we're trying to be strong with. So again, rest doesn't seem like we're accomplishing all that much, but for the overperformer or anyone else who's struggling with this, knowing the value and reminding yourself of the value of rest can be so important. It is important, and it makes me stronger even though I don't really feel like I'm doing anything. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that, and it's a challenge that we have, so we can say, I give myself permission to take time to rest today because I know it's important for me and my strength, and it's also beneficial to the other people that I annoy and irritate, which is usually the people that I'm most closely surrounded by, which is my family and friends. So it's not only good for me, but it's good for them as well. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.